opportunity for you to get your DVD copy of the 2015 Nebraska High School Girls and Boys Bowling Championships on NET, offered by the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Just visit NHSBF.com, follow the links, and you can preserve those state memories for a lifetime. Well, ready to take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams. The Pius 10th Thunderbolts first. The Class B undefeated 10-0 Thunderbolts are led by head coach Rod Mahacek. Lauren Berkey is just her sophomore season. Madeline Conrad, a freshman. Claire Jaros is a sophomore. Junior Kristen Mahacek. And then a couple of seniors, Katie Peterson and Megan Straub, lead the way for Rod Mahacek's Pius 10th Thunderbolts. They'll be taking on another undefeated team, as these two teams did not square off during the regular season. Corey Luce is the head coach of the Hastings Tigers. Natasha Ashley is a senior, a couple of sophomores in Gleason and Guydeson. Ashley Hawks, Samantha Hopkins, Mackenzie Kidd, and Shaylee Stiegemeyer is a junior for Corey Luce's Hastings Tigers. Should be a good one. Two teams that are familiar with this arena, familiar with state high school championship action, and familiar with state championships. And we'll have it all coming up for you right here on NET Sports.
School's almost over. What's next? I mean, what are my choices? I want to find something I love, so I can make a life for myself. And then I can give back. So, how do I get there?
Take the next step with Education Quest College Planning Services by visiting educationquest.org.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Baer Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Young composer, singer, and entertainer Ethan Bortnick celebrates the power of music.
It's all about music.
Special guests, Glee's Damian McGinty and Grammy-nominated singer Jane Monheit. Join Ethan in sharing with the world the power of music.
Friday night on NET1.
With excitement high for what will happen next on Downton Abbey, why not host your own Downton Abbey viewing party? And what better way to do so than by having your nearest and dearest period drama-loving friends over to watch along with you? Let NET know and we might send you a few treats to spice up your tea, and we may just join you. Go to netnebraska.org/Downton and fill out a brief description of your event. It's a wonderful excuse to dress up, drink tea, and talk about Downton Abbey on NET.
Somebody go tell.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Along with Steve Simpek, I'm Larry Putney. Great to have you back with us for the Class B Girls State High School Championship. We've already crowned two state championships, state champions so far to board. Of course, it was Ogallala winning in Class C, Humphrey winning this morning in Class D, and now it's the Pius 10th girls taking on Hastings, and this should be a great one. Two programs very familiar with each other. In fact, not only are the Hastings girls battling each other, but next week on the boys' side, you will also see Hastings against Pius 10th on the guys' side. So two programs who've really built up a tradition of getting to this point of the season.
Can't remember the last Class B matches we've seen, Larry, either in boys or girls, where either the boys or the girls in one of these schools were not involved. So two great programs, and you know, you're going to see some extremely good bowling on both teams.
Should be a good one here. Pius 10th, the Thunderbolts, will start off on the left-hand lane, lane 27. Kristen Mahacek, the junior, averages 190. She is the daughter of head coach Rod Mahacek, who you saw in the background there. First shot by Mahacek comes in a bit high, leaves the 610. Now up on the right-hand lane, Natasha Ashley, a senior, averages 147. Ashley straight up the boards, a little heavy. Ooh, bad break there as she leaves 410.
You saw Kristen do there as he switches to a straighter ball to go cross lane. She's using one of the removable thumb inserts. Bowling in these days, you can actually take your thumb and have an insert put in it that you can remove and put into your other bowling balls. It's just you twist it in, lock it in place, all USBC legal and certified. And you know, that is one of the key things in bowling, is if you're going to switch balls or use a lot of different balls, which is par for the course in today's world of bowling, sometimes it's hard to get that same feel from ball to ball. And with the removable grip inserts, you can achieve that.
Here's Madeline Conrad. Conrad is senior. I'm sorry, a freshman, excuse me, averaging 155. And Conrad with a good shot leaves a 10 pin. Now on the right-hand lane for the Tigers, Beth Gideson. Gideson a little left, has a bucket to work with there, but with the strike ball should be easy work. We talked about the tradition of these two teams. Pius 10th last year was in Class A, as Pius has opened up uncharacteristically with back-to-back open frames. Opportunity here for Hastings and Beth Gideson to take the early lead. Pius was at state last year in Class A, but knocked out in the semifinals by Lincoln Southeast. And that's tugged. So both teams showing a bit of nerves here early on.
Saw this in our
lights, action.
Yeah,
Right?
saw this our last two matches.
Yeah,
taking a little time for the ladies to just become accustomed to this extremely unique surrounding, as Brian English said last last match, that it's just. Nobody else does the arena finals better than the state of Nebraska for high school bowling.
That's Claire Jaros. Jaros, a sophomore, also leaves a 610. So now on the right-hand lane, Samantha Hopkins. Hopkins averages 154. She's a junior. And we'll try to get Hastings on track here, as that reacts well, but leaves the 10 pin. We'll see if Samantha can clean that up. An opportunity here for Jaros. Jaros, get this, Steve, she was a brand new bowler just 2 years ago. Really a testament to the fundamental work that this program does in drilling fundamentals, although that slides a little right.
Well, you know, and it starts, you know, with the groundwork for the program, and both these programs have been in the High School Bowling Federation since its inception. And of course, everybody, and I've said this in years past as we've been together, Larry, that the city of Lincoln is blessed with great bowling centers, all four of them. And you know, they're all great operators. They're all, you know, down to earth people, and locally owned, which I think is a huge thing. And so they have a stake in wanting to build future business, and this is the future business of bowling. And the growth in bowling is really occurring in middle and high school and collegiate age kids. So you know, it's no shock that Pius has been around and been in a top program, and the same applies out in Hastings. Butch Hogan and Donna Hogan, the owners of Pastime Lanes, have been longtime supporters of youth bowling, and they have built their tradition too.
There's Mackenzie Kidd, who the senior comes in a bit high, kicks out that 7 though to avoid the split. And Hastings with an early lead here thanks to that spare by Samantha Hopkins. Here's a look at Katie Peterson. Katie is a senior, averages 166, having her best season in high school, looking for the spare conversion, and she does. So finally Pius on the board with a mark.
And if you've been with us in the prior matches, we are now in Class B, which means we are now in the 5-player Baker format. So now each player will get 2 attempts per game. Your leadoff bowler bowls frames 1 and 6, and 2 and 7, and so forth and so forth. So your anchor bowler, who you're looking at right now, Megan Straub, is important. She'll have the 5th frame, and she'll also have the most important frame of all, the 10th frame.
Megan comes in a little light, leaves that 2 pin, so work to do there for the senior from Lincoln Pius. And now the anchor bowler on the right-hand lane for Hastings High, Ashley Hawk. Hawk averaging 188 on the year. And trips the 4-pin, and Hawk gets the strike. Big shot there. Hawk, as we said, averages 188, so their top bowler. Here is Pius's top bowler, Megan Straub, averages 213. And a good cover by Megan Straub. So at the 5th frame, as we have in Class D and C both, the 2 teams will switch sides. We'll take a look at the scoreboard, and you see that Pius is leading by a slim 3 pins, 44-41 as we head to the 5th frame. Pius working on a spare. Hastings, though, on a strike. An opportunity for the Tigers to take the lead right here. Natasha Ashley. Coaches say a very hard worker, averages 148, crosses over, leaves the 136. Here's Pius's 2nd best bowler on the team, Kristen Mahacek. She's had just a terrific year. Mahacek was the runner-up in Class A in 2013 and 14. Class A all-state first team, and she rips the rack there and gets the carry.
Just straight arm swing and right down the lane in that track area, and ball with a hard push towards the pins. Choppable spare, and we see it. The chop and bowling is right there, what you saw at home, folks. The ball driving in and picking off 1 or 2 of the pins, leaving another 1 or more standing, and that's what you have to guard against.
Here's the freshman, Madeline Conrad. Very simple game. Straight up the boards, right around the pocket, and she does a nice job of picking up spares. Madeline's also a softball player. Now on the left-hand lane, Beth Gettison. Crosses over. Doublewood or the sleeper, leaving the 3-9. Not an easy spare.
Neither one of them on either lane.
That's right. Here's Conrad on the right-hand lane. Her Pius team has been impressive. 3rd trip to the finals in 4 years. They did it once in Class A. They were runner-up in Class A. They've won 1 title. That was back in 2012. And really in the early days of Pius girls bowling, the benchmark for Pius, candidly, was Hastings. What is Hastings doing? How good are they? How can we catch them? What do we have to do? And it's paid off. When you have a target and you go after it, you'll see quick improvement. They have terrific cover on that 3-9. Tough spare converted, and Hastings keeps it close. They're within 17.
Well, I think it's also predicated, Larry, on the the strength of the youth bowling program that the players come out of, and not only has the Pius girls come from a great youth program, majority of them here maybe in Sun Valley, but the other centers in Lincoln too, Parkway, Hollywood, and Madson's, but Hastings with one bowling center, Butch and Donna Hogan's place out there, strong youth program for years and years and years. So you've got interest, and as they grow older, you've got this new vehicle now called high school bowling that they can continue to hone their game.
Here's Hopkins in the pocket. Hopkins gets the carry. That's a big shot to try to get the Tigers back into this. Hastings, a bit of a tradition of their own, as we said. They were beaten in the semifinals last year by Waverly, but they've won 2 titles since 2011. They won it in 2011 and 2013 as a good spare conversion by Jaros. Claire Jaros with the cover. And that maintains that Pius lead. So a big shot right here for the Tigers. Here's Mackenzie Kidd. This can cut into that Pius nearly 20-pin lead with a double.
Oh.
Bad break. Pocket 8-10. And you
Just
saw the 8 wobble, huh?
Yeah, Larry, it's just one of those things where the bowling ball never really got into a strong, heavy roll, meaning charging towards the pins. The ball was doing a little bit of a fade move away from the pocket, and the ball did not carry through and take that 8 out.
Good shot by Katie Peterson. Katie has just been steady and solid this year for the Bolts, having a good year. And that'll slide between the two. So 113 in the ninth. The best is 143. Pius with a mark here can really wrap this up with good pin count in the 10th if they get the spare. And they do. Solid by Katie. Now stepping up is Ashley Hawk, knows what she needs to do. She needs to double to keep her team in it.
It's a good shot, Larry.
Mix it up, doesn't get the 2 to go.
Didn't quite climb the hill there right at the last minute, but they're not too far off. Most of the Hastings girls are in and around the pocket area. Haven't seen any wild, errant shots.
So just pin count here. Any kind of good pin count, and Pius will wrap up game number 1, and that will do it. So Megan Straub flushes the 10, sends them all into the pit. The strike gives Pius 10th, game number 1.
And I don't think it's any secret to people here in our neck of the woods that Megan's mom and dad are tremendous bowlers.
Did you see what she put on her bio sheet? She said, my mom and dad, they ask who has helped you the most in developing your game and who's helped you become a better bowler. She said, my parents, they know bowling well.
Well, that might be
maybe an understatement.
A little understated, yeah, I think so.
Well, she's a very self-effacing and humble young woman, but a very talented one.
Of course, her dad is the University of Nebraska head bowling coach, Bill Straub, for the NCAA women's team at Nebraska. Multiple national championships, and really probably the pinnacle of collegiate bowling.
Absolutely.
That every program shoots for. Her mom, Kim Straub, who was once Kim Berkey before she married Bill. Beatrice. Kim bowled on the women's professional tour for years.
And there is Lauren Berkey, by the way. So I believe she calls Kim Aunt Kim, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be correct.
So Lauren Berkey threw that last shot for Pius. The Bolts win at 169-132. It's a little bit of bowling bloodlines, but you're going to say about Kim, one in her day, All-American collegiate bowler, just an outstanding.
Yep. Bowled on the national tour for the ladies, and Kim's mom and dad, Gail and Gary Berkey, longtime owners of Tonka Lanes and Beatrice, since retired. They're actually here watching this afternoon, watching their granddaughter go. So, but Hastings did not bowl awful. They had some errors, and as we spoke all day, errors are the turnovers. In football or basketball, errors are the equivalent to that in bowling. And just as we say that, Hastings comes out and leaves a 4-6-7 split with Tasha Ashley.
So here's Kristen Mahacek. She comes from a bowling family as well. Her father, Rod Mahacek, the head coach at Pius. He's in the Lincoln Bowling Hall of Fame. Just like Dad, rips the rack.
have to inform Rod that she might be better than Dad was at some point. He'd probably agree. He's a humble dad.
Rod's older daughter, Kelly Mahacek, is a member of the Newman University bowling team. In fact, just this weekend, I hear she shot 700 in her first 3 games and led that collegiate tournament. So it's a bowling family.
And those collegiate events are not bowled on typical house bowling conditions. They're bowled on tough, what we would call sport or competitive conditions. So a 700 coming out of the gates is brand new in the program. It's quite an achievement.
Good shot, just a bit high for Madeline Conrad.
And you're seeing what we talk about, keeping the ball in play, Larry. The Pius girls so far have been the best example of that in the 2 matches, this being the 3rd match we've seen today. Keeping the ball in play is keeping the ball in and around the pocket. You want to avoid missing the head pin, obviously, and you want to also avoid going square on the head pin, which could cause a split. So they keep it in and around the pocket. That shot was just a touch light, but makeable spare with the 4-7, but Hastings right back, answers with a strike. Switching to a plastic ball to go straight at it. Good job. You know, there's goods and bads to the ball switching. As we talked earlier, there is a different feel between each ball. It's just impossible to get them all the same. But when you're going cross lane, need to be straight. Not a bad choice if you need to try something like that. And another split for Hastings.
Yeah, off the nice strike by Gettison. Really an opportunity to get back into it, and then it just comes a touch high again. Pius clean through 2 with a strike and a spare. And here's Claire Jaros. Jaros again, just up the boards, right around the pocket, trips that 2 forward. Good things happen when you stay around the pocket, right, Steve?
That's exactly right. And, you know, Hastings, even though it looked like both the splits that they left were good shots off their hands, they just a little bit of a too strong of a finish through the nose. Leaves the split, but she gets 2 pins. It's early in the match. But a strike here by Pius and Katie Peterson would be taking a leap into the lead. Straight in that track area. Once again, in and around the pocket, just a touch light.
Kinsey Kidd comes in light, leaves the 1-2. So now Peterson.
Now one thing that, you know, part of competitive bowling is whether you're bowling in a team event like this or maybe if you're bowling in an individual event of some type. Nice spare there. Is, you know, if you're seeing your opponent or other bowlers adjacent to you having success playing a certain portion of the lane, well, you know, it might not be a bad shot to try to
move there, right?
Move there and experience the success they're having. I think right now the Hastings girls are just not achieving the accuracy and hitting the target that they need to stay in and around the pocket. So
looks like maybe a move right would be in order here for Hastings. So here's Megan Straub straight up the board. Straub in the pocket, gets the carry.
And we'll focus next time Megan's up in the 10th frame. We'll focus, but the footwork and the technique is, you know, classic taught by. If you look at the University of Nebraska women's team, anytime they're on television, you are basically watching them all exactly emulate the same thing that she does when it comes to their footwork, their balance, and their release. And we'll show you folks at home a key, I think, to the success that they all have when Megan's up next.
So here's Ashley Hawk, the senior for Hastings. Tough spare conversion here for Hawk. Needs to hook, and it does. Good coverage by Ashley Hawk. We take a look at the average Baker score for these 2 teams here at State as we take a look at the current score. Pius 80 through 4. Hastings at 45. The average Baker score for these 2 teams, Hastings is averaging 150.3, Pius 170.2. So Pius averaging here at State about 20 pins better, and it played out in that first game. Pius was at 169, Hastings at 132. recipe for success has been pretty simple for Pius. Be around the pocket, pick up your spares.
See if Natasha Ashley here can get more comfortable at the point of release. This ball hung on her hand a little bit there, so it's going left to target, but gets the break.
Good carry on the Brooklyn shot. And that maybe help him get back in it now. Maybe a good break here to get the Tigers going. Mahacek, so solid on her spares. Mahacek with the conversion. So now back up on the right lane for Hastings will be Beth Gittison. Hastings have never lost when making the TV show. So they have made it here twice. Made it in 2011. Also made it in 2013. Both times they won the state championship. Their third appearance in the TV finals.
They've got a tall order in front of them. Not only did they lose the first match, but they're falling behind in this one. And the Pius ladies look like they are not going to give up the pocket. They're going to stay right around it. And it's going to be strike a lot time for Hastings. Pulls that one a little bit.
Understandable.
Yep. After losing it off your hand the first go around.
Yep.
Right up the boards, right in the pocket area, very well.
Charles carries big double for Pius.
That ball probably didn't hook more than 3 or 4 boards, Larry, total, but when you're accurate and you can repeat shots, you can not hook at a board and throw it dead straight and still be right there. That's going to have to lay off just a touch, and kind of laid off a little too much there.
Good shot there by Samantha Hopkins. Here's Katie Peterson to try to make it 3 in a row. A little high, goes through the nose. Leaves a 6-7-10 split.
Still with a chance at 200. Pius, they've got enough room where get 2 pins here and save yourself some count, stay clean in 10th frame, and they should have that wrapped up for game 2.
There's Katie trying to convert. Katie also from a bowling family. Her father coaches the Pius 10th boys, who you will see next week on NET as they also square off with Hastings. 2 programs on the boys and girls side with great tradition. Didn't quite get the 6 out, but a better shot.
Megan Straub's up on 27. If our fine folks at NET can maybe take a look at her footwork as she lets go of the ball, you'll see how her foot is perpendicular to the foul line. Her footwork is steady and slow. When she comes to the foul line, her foot is right perpendicular to it, makes that T. You see people get off balance, you'll see your foot turn to the side, or you'll see them fall away from the shot. And, you know, having your footwork solid and slow it pays dividends. And so when she lets go of the ball, you'll be able to see at the point of release just how steady her balance.
And that push straight out, locks that elbow out.
Yep.
Perfect in time swing. It's just typical Coach Straub ball fall tall wall, right?
You can watch all the videotape you want of past Nebraska Cornhusker bowling events, even the men that compete on the club side, and they all throw the ball the same. Which, why not? Bill's undoubtedly one of the best bowling coaches in the United States, if not all everywhere. I'd imagine Megan once or twice probably got a little sharp at Dad and saying lay off a little bit. She's
Good coverage.
She's got to be a little bit like every kid.
That's right.
You know?
195 for Pius, so the Bolts take a 2-0 lead. And terrific score there for Pius, 195. Needs to hang on, and it does. So possible 135 here for Hastings. So if you're Hastings, you really, what do you save the girls, Steve? They've gone 132, 135 roughly back to back, and that's not going to be enough given the way Pius has bowled through 1 and 2. What do you say to them?
Well, you say to them that they had a split in the 9th frame and that they can make mistakes too. We need to capitalize. We need to clean up our spares and hopefully catch a few breaks and catch a few strikes and not just spot them 50 or 60 pins, which open frames can do, just like that.
And that gives you a little momentum too, does it not?
Sure it does.
Yeah. So 195, 135, Pius the 10th. On top 2-0 now in this best-of-5 Baker format. The Bolts looking for the girls' second ever state championship. They won it back in Class B in 2012. This is their 3rd trip into the finals in 4 years. One in Class A last year, where they lost in the finals. And they've made 2 championship appearances in Class B. Megan Straub started out her career with the state championship in 2012. She'd like to end it in 2015 with another one. And Kristen Mahacek takes a good step toward that. A flush 10 in the pit for Mahacek.
It's certainly going to look like that might be the outcome. But Hastings will need to stay hot into the game with a strike previous.
Tasha Ashley just a bit light. 1-2-4.
And I would assume, Larry, that when you walk in and you're going to bowl a dominating program like Pius, that it doesn't initially beat you before you throw a shot, but it's sure going to be in your head that they're that good. Best medicine Hastings can have now is to pick up this spare. Stay even with Pius through the first frame. Ball needs to hook. Cross lane at the 7, switching to a straighter ball, which sometimes can cause an issue going across the lane like that. But no problem with that cover.
Really impressed with the consistency of Madeline Conrad in her freshman year. Just very solid, right around the pocket, picks up her spares. Those kind of athletes are so valuable to your team.
I think Pius only has 1 open frame, or 1 error actually. Yep. A couple of splits in there, but 1 error is all. And that is just exactly what you need to do. Take care of the ball, just like you would in any other sport. Oh, ooh. Tough break there.
That might even be out of spot. We'll have to see. I think that
started to get the 5-pin out of there, but stayed up.
Maybe an opportunity here for Hastings. Good. Ooh, how did that chop? Took the 1 right off the 3. Not easy to do. Looked like a good shot. It looked like maybe Pius had opened the door just a bit.
Cross lane at the 5-7. With the 5 being a touch off spot, she's going to try and slide that into the 7. And so keeps Hastings within arm's reach. Strike. Bring them back to within 1 pin, Larry.
Another sleeper there for the Tigers.
Saw the ball come off her hand and went into the air, got lofted down the lane quite a bit. That delayed the hook. Another wall shot, leaves the 7.
Very important. Opportunity here for Samantha Hopkins on the 2-8.
Needs to hit the 2-pin as flush in the face as possible so the ball can carry through and pick up the 8 just like that.
Terrific conversion for the Tigers. So now Katie Peterson will try to answer. The senior or the Thunderbolts. And a good conversion for Peterson. Here's Mackenzie Kidd on the right-hand lane. Mackenzie is senior. Cross over. And still with some work to do there. Here's another look at Megan.
Hand behind the ball, elbow in close, that locked
finish.
Locked arm swing.
Finish it, got it. Messenger came across, and it looked like it was also tripped out of the gutter as well. I think that's 3 straight strikes for Straub, maybe 4.
Just Hastings just can't get out of their own way today so far, Larry. We're down 16 now with a strike working for Pius, down 26 plus more. So you've got a half a game left here, and if you're going to salvage a chance here to take it to a game 4, strike only portion now for Hastings. That's a pretty good shot there, Larry. I like the way it's at. Oh, just a touch high. Good release there. Her hands behind the ball also.
Very good.
She's got a slow, steady kind of an approach. And Ashley just a touch slow. See, she has some bowling tape, bowling patch on her thumb and hand that helps prevent blisters and calluses.
Good finish and good cover.
Today's reactive resin balls are sticky and can actually callus your hands and blister them a little faster than the old rubber bowling balls you and I use,
That's
pal.
Right. So as they switch lanes here in the 5th, there you see it's 67-51. Let's take a look at the individual standings. Just a quick tour down. The top 5 would be first team All-State. Kristana Haney with a 637, very impressive, taking All-State medalist honors. So the first 5 you saw there included Katie Peterson of Pius 10th and Kristen Mahacek of Pius 10th, also first team All-State. Hastings' Ashley Hawk, just 4 pins behind making first team. She would have been second team All-State. Madeline Conrad and Megan Straub also second team for Pius. That comes in a bit high, leaves a 4-9, so an opportunity here for Hastings to close that gap a little bit.
Well, a spare here by Hastings will get them back into within 20. Cross lane with a shiny ball in order to get the ball down the lane. Did not hook. Well done.
Very good cover.
See Kristen do the same thing, but go down the left side of the lane and try to convert the 4-9. She's going to play on the left side of the lane, needs to get the ball to the left of the 4. Very makeable spare, and that's got a chance, Larry.
Good effort. Open frame, though, and Hastings cuts into that lead. It's now inside 10.
Strike here puts them within 5.
And we'll see a sub here. Liz Gleason now into the game for Hastings. Liz is a sophomore. Her first shot here of the match. Straight up the boards for Liz. And left a 2-pin. Not easy stepping into a game cold on TV and making a shot. Nice job there by Liz. Good fundamental solid shot. Leaves the 10.
Must have the spare here for Hastings. They have a chance to try to extend this to one more game.
And a good cover. And an important one. Nice job off the bench. That'll give you a chance to breathe a little bit.
Oh, it did not come off her hand as she thought, so.
So back-to-back opens now, and Hastings with a chance to take the lead here. Good pin count, and they'll be in the lead.
5-pin lead. Strike here extends it to 15. This is their chance. It's lofted quite a ways out there, Larry, but oh, what a tough play.
Wow, great shot. Solid 9. Nice. She can smile about it. That's good.
Yeah, it's just too bad. Ball just drove through so hard at the end. Instead of hitting the 5 and the 9, takes the 5 only out. Pius can take the lead back over with a strike here.
So a 4-pin advantage right now for Hastings. Tugged a little bit. 1-3-6 still remain. Samantha Hopkins now. Hold on to the lead.
Pin should just be right straight at it, but that ball is going to hook past it. And that is just a tremendous opportunity squandered for Hastings. Should have went a little further left with her feet, a little more of a cross lane approach at that. So now a spare here, and any kind of mark in the 9th by Pius will give them a 4-pin lead. Ball's got a hook, Larry.
And it doesn't. Comes up a bit short, so still a 4-pin advantage for Hastings as we head to the 9th frame, the all-important 9th and 10th frames now.
Setup frame, we call it in bowling, the foundation frame. You want to fill it with a strike to get set up for the 10th.
Mackenzie Kidd in there. She got it. Big shot by Kidd. So Mackenzie Kidd provides a little bit of momentum for the Tigers. Let's see what Katie Peterson, how she can respond here. Pius 1 win away from the state championship. Hastings must win to keep it alive. Peterson comes in light, and all of a sudden we're seeing Pius not hitting the pocket.
She's kind of rocketed that one down the lane. She hasn't thrown the ball that fast, and that ball she just threw right down the lane, threw it right through what we call the break point.
This could shut out Pius. A strike here. Crosses over. Ooh, that's a baby split 310, certainly makeable, but a tough shot in this situation.
You got to go for it, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
and this one is a must for Pius. Need this spare.
Spare here will force Hastings to mark.
It doesn't. That might do it.
Potential 152 for Pius.
Still a chance. This is an important spare.
Picks this up, it should do it, Larry, but if she does not, Pius will have to double. Or actually, they'll need to fill 19.
Needs the spare. What a shot! Terrific ball by Ashley Hawk.
Now it's over.
And that will give Hastings, based on count, she needs to get some count here in the 10th frame, but that should give them game number 3.
Well, if you had to count on somebody to throw a 3-bagger to win it, it'd be Megan Straub.
Right.
That went off her hand a little fast there. Scooted a little right.
And that will do it. So Hastings takes game number 3. We said they needed to step up the game a bit, and they did. They're kind of dancing around the 130s. In this game, they come back with a 156 and take game number 3. So Pius takes 1 and 2. Hastings has come back to take game number 3. These two teams, Hastings ranked number 1 in the preseason coaches poll. Great cover by Straub. Hastings was ranked number 1. Pius was ranked number 5. Check that. Pius was ranked number 4.
Well, you don't really know. They're just like any other poll in any other sport. You know,
right.
the preseason polls. It's really kind of a guesstimate.
Well, and early Megan Straub was hurt. And they didn't really know if she was going to come back and bowl, so it's certainly understandable. Here's Lauren Berkey in the pocket. Berkey strikes, gets an opportunity there for the sophomore. And her brother, by the way, Lauren Berkey's brother, will be in the finals next week when the Pius boys take on Hastings. So here we are, 2-1. Pius leads. Hastings has taken a swing, and it landed here in game number 3. We'll see if the Bolts can respond.
Natasha Ashley, the leadoff bowler for Hastings, threw a great shot in the 6th frame, actually, and left a ringing 10. I think she's getting more comfortable. Opportunity here to start off strong, but just leaked it off her hand to the right. 1-2-4.
Kristen Mahacek now. Kristen's a 4.0 student. National Honor Society member and not a bad bowler, huh?
Just almost a carbon copy of Megan Straub. Maybe not quite as much hook, but just the trajectory of the ball down the lane, just straight up the boards. Little movement to it, left or right to left, but she keeps the ball in play every shot.
Needs to get up. Not quite enough.
You just can't give away pins like that to a team like Pius, where you know you're going to get some strikes. There's another good shot.
Mixing it up. Splashed it into the 7 and took it out.
Was that jazz hands? She do jazz hands after
so.
the strikes? Throwback to the 70s, Larry.
A little high, but took that 10 out, which was important. Leaves the 3-pin. So here's Claire Jaros. Jaros coach Mahacek says she's really come a long way in a very short period of time. Oh, and what a shot there. And what a start to game number 4.
Yeah, I think
Pius sending a message here early, huh?
I think the open frames shook them up a little bit and rung their bell, and they're back focused now. And just have to. If you're Hastings, you got to stay close. You got to get some strikes now, and hope for a bad break, possibly, in the pocket split or something in an open frame. You just don't see a lot of errors out of the Pius ladies.
Here's Peterson, comes in a bit light.
She was setting the ball down a little quicker earlier in the first 2 games. And the ball, when you set it down, which means when it makes contact with the lane surface early, the ball will hook earlier and usually a little more. Last couple shots, she has lofted it out on the lane a little bit to delay the hook.
Oh,
speaking of bad breaks.
7 and 10, both wobbling. She's had a couple of bad breaks.
Her ball comes in because of her rotation of her hand. Samantha Hopkins, her ball makes such a late move down the lane towards the pins. And sometimes when that happens, you can just catch bad breaks like that, Larry. But there's an open for Pius. So unfortunately, I don't know if the bowling gods will smile that fondly on Samantha to pick up the 7-10, but I don't think we've had that happen in 8 years, have we? It's one of some things we haven't seen. We've seen a lot of things.
We have. Several split conversions, several big split conversions.
Clutch strikes,
have
comebacks.
Not seen a 7-10.
Oh, well,
give it a run, though.
Yeah, well, that was,
that was quite
close. That was as close as we've seen.
Yeah.
You'll get a good look at Megan Straub's footwork here as she's on the right lane, lane 28. Just solid at the line.
And the carry.
Well, it's go time for the Lady Tigers. It is go time. Must strike situation here. Oh, just that was a good shot. Probably the best shot she's made all afternoon. Just comes in a touch high, so. lane at the 4.
Had a good cover. So they mark in the 4th, and that will bring up the anchor bowler for Hastings, Ashley Hawk, to bowl here in the 5th. There's a look at the score through 4 frames. 26-pin lead right now for Pius. Good shot by Ashley Hawk. Ashley's very solid. She's worked on a game extensively throughout her career. Won a title. Her junior, make it sophomore year, she won a title. Has a high game of 279 in her junior year. Credits all her coaches, Chuck Kidd, Corey Luce, Butch Hogan. Hey, I want to remind you there's more bowling coming your way. Next week, March 1st, 8 a.m., there's more Federation Bowling, the Boys State High School Bowling Championships coming your way on NET1, 8 a.m. on March 1st. Solid double, Mahacek.
Just no stopping the Lady Thunderbolts. Had that open frame in frame 4, but they are lined up, as you say in bowling. I guess you say matched up now,
is that
don't
right?
you? Yeah, I think you do.
That's matching the ball to the condition.
That is correct. Good shot there. Second time she's had a great shot like that in the last game and a half, and leaves the soft 10. And for a young lady here, it's a freshman. Has not bowled very much at all.
Toss it over. 10 still stands.
Has the good fundamental approach. Just needs to work on that release a little bit.
Yep. It's one of those things that comes with time and experience. Here's Natasha Ashley trying to convert on the 10 pin.
It's going to have to slide.
Skid. Ugh. Mark here gives Pius a 47-pin lead. She's going to slide by that to the left. So Pius with a 40-plus pin lead. There's a look at it. The open in the 7th, an opportunity here for Liz Gleason. Gleason, just a sophomore, inserted into the lineup last game. And here's Claire Jaros. I said Jaros just started bowling a couple of years ago. Pius yesterday survived a 5-game battle to make it to the championship. It was against Waverly. Pius won the first. Waverly won the next 2 and really had Pius on the ropes. The Bolts went back-to-back 189-204 in games 4 and 5 to win that match with Waverly. And advance here to the finals.
Waverly, our Class B Girls State champions last year. No slouch. Right. Tremendous program at Waverly. At the 9-pin, going straight through.
Saw a good cover by Jaros.
Well, Hastings is officially down about 36 pins, Larry, with if they would throw a strike here, if Samantha Hopkins would throw a strike. Not saying that the fat lady is singing, but she is stepping towards the mic. And, you know, I just tell by their body language and their facial expressions that, you know, they just are disgusted with how they bowled today. And things happen. It's just sports. It'll live to see another day, and they will. A lot of these girls will be back next year. They do have 3 seniors, but you can count on Hastings always reloading with additional players for the next year. And will normally be in the hunt. Peterson up on the left lane, going cross lane at the 6'10". Flattens out the release. Less hook, straight at it. See some of the girls using different bowling balls, trying to straighten the ball out, but you can also take spin off the ball, or some people call it throwing a knuckleball, like in baseball. You take the revolutions off, causes the ball to go straighter, and improves your accuracy.
Crossed over and sends the 5-pin forward. Mackenzie Kidd with the strike. Good strike in the 9th frame, and they'll really need to fill it up here now in the 10th.
Yeah, Larry, all Pius needs to do is keep it on the lane, and it is over. Potential 167 for Hastings, where Pius is on pace for a $190. It's good. Finish it off, and
there's a good shot. There's Bill Straub, Kim Straub, parents of Megan Straub. Of course, Bill, the head bowling coach at the University of Nebraska. My college coach, great man.
Bill bowled on the Professional Bowlers Tour in the 70s.
Won a title.
Yes.
Back in '82, I believe.
I think it was in St. Louis at Dick Weber's house.
Yep. And that is the shot that does it. The Pius wins the state championship here in 2015. Another good shot by Ashley. Get that 7 out of there. Nope.
Well, losing to a team like Pius is nothing to hang your head at. Everybody wants to win, but you just run into a buzzsaw there, and tough to stop them when they're bowling like that.
Yep.
They'll have Kristen Mahachik back next year. Some youngsters are going to have to bring up, but I have a feeling Kristen Mahachik will be their go-to player. Spare here will give Pius 197.
And here's Lauren Berkey in to close it out for the Bolts. And a great spare conversion for Berkey on a tough shot. 197 for Pius to 155 for Hastings. And the Pius 10th Lady Thunderbolts have won their second straight, state championship. So once again, Pius, the state champs in Class B. When we come back, we'll have the trophy and medal presentations from here at Sun Valley Lanes. Stay with us.
High school is almost over. Now what? I wish I knew what to do, or even what I can do. I know I want something more. Something I can be proud of. So, how do I get there?
Take the next step with Education Quest College Planning Services by visiting educationquest.org.
Programming on NET Television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank knows the importance of giving back. That's why we're committed to supporting charitable, educational, and service organizations in communities across Nebraska and the nation. In 2014, U.S. Bank employees have already provided more than 3,000 hours of community service in Nebraska, and we are dedicated to continuing that support. U.S. Bank, serving you in Nebraska. Member FDIC.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Your car has been with you a long time, through the months and years. Now it's time to let it go. Donate it. Support the programming you love.
NET is your trusted source for quality programming all year round. Your financial support allows NET to acquire PBS and NPR programming and invest in our state by producing local programs of interest to Nebraskans. Please take a moment to show your support and ensure the programming you value will continue on your statewide network. Make your contribution now at netnebraska.org. Thank you for your support of NET.
Nebraska's best high school bowlers compete for state championships in the sports crowning event. See all the action when the boys take the lanes and find out who captures top honors on Nebraska High School Boys Bowling Championships, Sunday morning, March 1st, beginning at 8 Central on NET1. A webcast is also available at netnebraska.org and on the NET Nebraska app.
Back at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, your state champs in Class B, the Pius 10th Thunderbolts, 197-155 in the final game. And now with the champs, let's go down to Steve Simpek.
Thanks, Larry. We're here with Class B state champions, Coach Rod Mahachik and Megan Straub. Megan, you're a senior. You've got your other senior, Katie, that you're going to lose. You guys will both go on to college in 2012. So you won as a freshman and you won as a senior, correct? Or sophomore and a senior?
Runner-up sophomore. We won freshman.
Right. So, I mean, you know, the whole world wants to know the question. Are you going to bowl in college maybe just a little bit?
I would hope so. If my dad will have me on his team, that would be great.
Well, you know, I don't know. We know a lot of people in the bowling industry. We'll see if we can put a good word in for you. But how was so now you have some of the underclassmen coming up, and everybody seems so solid. You know, kind of what was kind of your theme? You guys had a heck of a battle in the semis against Waverly. I heard you had to fight tooth and nail to get through that match, and I would assume you've got enough underclassmen to fill roles next year.
Hope so, and Coach Rod will lead them hopefully to another state championship next year.
And Rod, you know, Pius, Larry, and I talked about during the show about how, you know, both Hastings and Pius just have great programs, and it starts with youth, and you grew up here in the area in a youth program, and it makes a big difference when you've got a strong bowling community like Lincoln and great prospects to pick from, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been very fortunate to have kids come through the program that have some bowling experience and some history. And so, you know, just trying to build on their fundamentals and help them develop in their games, and they've done a great job. They've worked really hard all year. Definitely want to congratulate Hastings on a great season. We've got a lot of history there, a lot of, you know, back and forth over the years in the state tournament. So we feel very fortunate to have won today.
Well, we're going to see next week both the Pius boys and the Hastings boys go at it for the state championship next weekend. But on the girls' side, it's the Lady Thunderbolts this year, Larry, in Class B. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. Congratulations once again to those ladies right there. They are the state champs from Pius the 10th. And now for the introduction of our state champs and runner-ups with the medal and trophy presentations, let's go to our public address announcer. Here's Dwayne DeMone.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for our two finalists? And now for your awards presentation. Your Class B girls runner-up, excuse me for a moment, Hastings High Tigers. Coaches Corey Luce and Chris Kidd. Natasha Ashley. Beth Giddison. Samantha Hopkins. Mackenzie Kidd. Ashley Hawk. Elizabeth Gleason. And Shaylee Stagmeyer. Ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to the Hastings High Tigers, your Class B girls runner-up. Now, here's your 2014-2015 Class B Girls Champions, the Pius X Thunderbolts. Coach Rod Mahacek. Kristen Mahacek. Megan Straub. Claire Jaros. Madeline Conrad. Katie Peterson. And Lauren Berkey. Ladies, here's your championship trophy. Congratulations to 2014-15 Class B Girls State Champions.
There are your state champions in Class B, the Pius X Thunderbolts, led by head coach Rod Mahacek. A terrific undefeated season for the Pius X ladies. When we come back, Class A, it's a battle of Lincoln teams. North Star, Northeast, coming up next.
No matter how you look at it, animal agriculture helps Nebraska's economy. The livestock industry provides increased tax revenues for schools and community services. Livestock enterprises also create jobs while contributing to existing businesses such as local banks and grocery stores. A thriving livestock industry helps maintain our current way of life, but also provides opportunities for the next generation of farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff helps to raise awareness of the importance of animal agriculture to Nebraska.
Tom Kelly's Pro Shop is your home for bowling supplies. Established in 1980, the shop offers 45 different shoe styles, including the complete line of Brunswick, thousands of balls, and over 200 different styles of bags. A father and son team with experience in drilling since 1958 use customized hand measuring and the latest equipment to provide you with the right fit. You can walk in, find everything you need, and go bowling the same day. Tom Kelly's Pro Shop, located in Omaha and Norfolk.
Behind the Outlet, Nebraska Public Power District is passionate about preserving and restoring Nebraska's resources. Whether rescuing fish during canal repair work, protecting avian species on the Platte River, or complying with all environmental standards at our power generating facilities, we actively balance our environmental responsibilities with meeting Nebraska's ever-changing energy needs. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Programming on NET television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank knows the importance of giving back. That's why we're committed to supporting charitable, educational, and service organizations in communities across Nebraska and the nation. In 2014, U.S. Bank employees have already provided more than 3,000 hours of community service in Nebraska, and we are dedicated to continuing that support. U.S. Bank, serving you in Nebraska. Member FDIC.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Baer Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
And welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, getting set for the Class A Girls State Championship. What a great match we just had as the Hastings girls losing to Pius in 4. I want to remind you, here's a great opportunity to pick up your DVD of the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation State Championships. Just log on to our website at NHSBF.com, follow the prompts, and you can pick up a DVD copy of these state high school championships, and these memories will last a lifetime on DVD. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Class A showdown. A couple of Lincoln teams, a couple of outstanding Lincoln programs. We'll start with Northeast, led by head coach Gary Vondra. Katie Fritchie is a senior, along with 3 other seniors, Huffman, Knutson, and Mitchell, all in the lineup. And then 3 freshmen, Alex Neiswanger, Peaches Parker, and Avery Short for head coach Gary Vondra of the Rockets from Northeast. The Lincoln North Star, one of the perennial teams here at State. Outstanding job done by Bob Corm, the head coach. He has a freshman, Deanna Allen, on the team, a couple of seniors in Rachel Flynn and Brittany Hall. You've heard the Hall name many times, and there's another Hall, Callie Hall, the sophomore, Shane Miller, and Becca Perry, 3 sophomores for the North Star Gators. It's the Gators and the Rockets, a battle of Lincoln for the Class A Girls State Championship. One of these teams will walk away with our final state championship of the day. And when we come back, we'll have the showdown, the Rockets and Gators, right here on NET Sports.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Baer Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
Programming on NET Television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank knows the importance of giving back. That's why we're committed to supporting charitable, educational, and service organizations in communities across Nebraska and the nation. In 2014, U.S. Bank employees have already provided more than 3,000 hours of community service in Nebraska, and we are dedicated to continuing that support. U.S. Bank, serving you in Nebraska. Member FDIC.
Behind the Outlet, Nebraska Public Power District is exploring solutions to energy challenges today and tomorrow. Teaming with UNL, we are researching irrigation and energy efficiencies, ethanol and byproducts for livestock feed, renewable energy and clean air technologies. We are committed to providing Nebraskans with affordable, sustainable energy while investing in innovation for generations to come. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
NET is your trusted source for quality programming all year round. Whether you value educational children's programs, arts, entertainment, sports, or classical music, your loyal support ensures we'll be able to continue bringing these programs to you. Your financial support allows NET to acquire PBS and NPR programming and invest in our state by producing local programs of interest to Nebraskans. Please take a moment to show your support and ensure the programming you value will continue on your statewide network. Make your contribution now at netnebraska.org. Thank you for your support of NET.
It is our oldest enemy, and perhaps our most feared, cancer.
When you look at what's going on with cancer right now, it's stunning.
Now more than ever, there is reason for hope. Cancer, the emperor of all maladies.
Coming soon to NET1.
State championships galore on NET. Coming up next Saturday, it's the NSAA High School Swimming and Diving Championships, live from the Bob Devaney Sports Center in Lincoln. They begin at 11 a.m. Central on NET1. We'll have a live webcast also. That'll be available on our website and on the NET Nebraska app. Lots of state championships, high school bowling, wrestling, basketball, boys and girls. These, of course, the State High School Bowling Championships, the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. And we are set to go here in Class A. Lincoln North Star taking on Lincoln Northeast. It's the Rockets and the Gators in a crosstown battle. These two teams know each other well. They've squared off many times throughout the season, and now here it is in the arena at Sun Valley Lanes for a state championship. Speaking of Sun Valley Lanes, we're thrilled to have the proprietor here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln with us, John Lucido. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I tell you, your staff continues to do just an outstanding job in putting on these arenas. We were talking with Brian English earlier, and Brian indicated, this is his job. He goes around the country, visits high school programs across the country, takes a look at their state championships, helps institute this at the varsity level and get sanctioning. And he said to us, there is nowhere in America that does it any better than what you have here. So a big congratulations and tip of the cap.
Thank you very much, Larry. That's really a wonderful comment coming from Brian, because as you said, he does do this all across the country. And I'm very fortunate to have the staff here that I do. They put hours and hours and hours into this event and move furniture and do all sorts of different things. Yeah. And God bless them. They just keep on going away. So it's a great thing to have them. And we're very fortunate here in Lincoln. I mean, Lincoln's just a great town anyway for sports and bowling, so it just works out very, very well.
And, of course, the first thing Simpek said to Brian English after he said is, where do I get your job?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I got my resume in.
So ready to go here in the girls' Class A state championship. It will be the Gators starting it off on the right lane. Actually, they're going to switch sides now.
Well, we have Deputy Commissioner down there on the lanes. Les Amory is.
And so it will be the Rockets, as we expected. The Rockets starting out on the left lane, and that's Allie Neiswanger. So Neiswanger with the first shot on lane 27. John will be joining us throughout this Class A match.
Ooh, not the way to start. Definitely not the way to start the 2-4-10.
Now up on the right-hand lane, Deanna Allen. There's Deanna from North Star.
That looks like a good shot.
Okay, I'm up.
Nice. Great shot there. That's the way you want to start the match, don't you think, Steve?
Yes, that is correct. It is. Allie's going to take a shot here at the 2-4-10. Let's get the ball to the left of the 2, slide it over into the 10, and she's going to get 2 maybe the hard way, John.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Almost. Very, very close.
Well, as Larry was saying, these two teams know each other extremely well. Crosstown rivals, bowl in their local district together, and we've seen both programs here at the state finals many, many times.
Yeah, both teams are fairly evenly matched. We should actually see a pretty exciting match here today.
Up on the left lane now for Lincoln Northeast is Larissa Huffman. She's a senior. She's the positive force, it says here in her bio, and knows how to pick up the team. Shooting on lane 27.
A little bit to the right. Ball's a little wide, leads to 1-2.
Rachel Flynn for the Gators. Also a senior. Averages 167. Tough spare here, though, John, the 138.
Yeah, the trick here, Steve, is to get the ball to cover both the 3-pin and the 8-pin. And she did it just like that textbook, I'd say.
Puts the Gators up early. We're North Star. Or excuse me, over the Rockets, that is. And a spare for Lincoln Northeast. So we're through 2. About a 12-pin lead right now for the Gators. Up on right lane is Callie Hall, 175 average sophomore.
Callie with a great delivery on that shot. That's kind of a pit.
John, Bob Coram has been around the Gator program, Bob and his wife Vicki, for a long, long time, and Bob would also fall into that category, as Larry and I talked in the previous match with the Pius women and the Hastings women, the two, I would say, dynasties, the benchmarks for Class B, and I would put North Star up there for the ladies girls division for Class A also.
Yeah, North Star has been a powerhouse in Class A with Bob and Vicki Coram at the helm, like you've mentioned. They're great coaches, and they teach the fundamentals and get the kids a pretty solid framework to work off of. It'll be a little bit of a Northeast to battle against them.
Error there for the Rockets. Speaking of North Star, this is their 4th trip to the finals in the last 5 years. They were the 3-peat champions in 11, 12, and 13. Took the year off last year as Lincoln East girls. That was an exciting match last year. Lincoln East won, but You're going to see the Gators around usually most of the time. Up on the left-hand lane now for the Rockets. Ashley Mitchell. A lot of seniors on the team. 3 seniors and a freshman. 4 seniors and a freshman.
Ashley going a little bit high there, leaving just the 4-7. Actually, somewhat of a good break. Could have been a split either way there. So she has just 2 on the left side to cover up. Try to gain some of those 24 pins that they're behind from North Star.
And Brittany Hall up for the Gators on lane 28. Just about the same thing there, John. Ball deals a little high. We use the Baker format, as we've mentioned a couple times in the show. If you just joined us, this is Baker-style bowling. And John, you want to explain the mantra of Baker-style bowling to our home audience?
One of the benefits of Baker bowling is that you can take an entire team and have them compete evenly as a regular game. So you have 5 players. The players will alternate through the 1st and 6th frame if you're the leadoff bowler, the 2nd and 7th for the 2nd, 3rd and 8th, 4th and 9th, and then the anchor bowler bowls the 5th and 10th frame. In Class A and B competition here in Nebraska, of course, Classes C and D only have 4-member teams, and they rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Katie Fritchie here for Lincoln Northeast on the left-hand lane, leaving the baby split. So I'd say really it just takes a little bit of time for the, as we've seen in other matches, to get everybody accustomed to the TV arena, to the nerves.
Yeah, definitely
lights,
the nerves.
all that stuff.
Yeah, it's tough being out there. The lights, it's rather warm. The lights, of course, alter the lane pattern with the lane conditioner, makes it a little bit more challenging. But bowling in front of all your friends on both sides of you, it's a little bit tough.
Sure. All right, well, we are through 5, and Lincoln North Star with a 25-pin lead, 88-63 over Lincoln North Star, or excuse me, over Lincoln Northeast. Now the teams in Baker bowling will switch sides.
Yeah, Lincoln North Star out of the gate actually pretty well, 4 out of 5 marks. Northeast is struggling a little bit with 2 splits in the first 5 frames. See if North Star can keep the momentum rolling. Deanna Allen coming up. Oh my, what a great shot that was, Steve. Can you believe that?
Well, we've seen a few of those today. The ball just charging high right at the tail end, leaving what we call a smash 7 or a crash 7. Just one of the byproducts of the high-powered equipment we have in today's age. Right-hand lane now for Northeast. Allen Nieswanger.
Allie taking advantage of the Brooklyn strike.
Yep, to put them back into the game now, cuts that lead to about 15.
Deanna trying to go cross lane at the 7-pin. Good form. Great follow through. She's got it. Very nice spare there.
Well, both teams show great, just great fundamentals, John. Nice straight arm swings. They're in balance at the approach, and those are the fundamentals we talk about that good coaching applies in bowling.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. Coach O'Hara and Coach Corner have done a really great job at teaching those fundamentals. You can see it in their deliveries and how they make their approach.
Rachel Flynn up on lane 27 now for the Gators.
Pretty good shot. Looks like it might be a little high. She goes over.
Carry.
Trips the 10-pin. North Star keeping their lead. Difficult spare here, though, Steve. The 1, 3, 6, 8, 10. All sorts of ways you can miss this. It's going to be a challenge. Let's see if she can do it. She needs to get the ball to the right side of the head pin and try to catch that 8. She didn't do it.
Tough break there for Northeast. North Star can increase their lead here with a double. Callie Hall, sophomore, 175 average.
Looks like it might go a little high. Breaks up the split possibility, leaves just the 3-6.
Alyssa Knutson up for Northeast. Right down the middle, John, and lip.
Oh, Stone's a 5-pin.
It's all right. Easy spare to pick up.
Right in the middle of the lane.
Right now, about a 27-pin lead for North Star. This is keep that lead, and well done.
Yep.
By the Gators.
Good job in covering the free in the sixth with the ball. Makes it the safe way to make that spare.
Alyssa's high game is 226, high series 550. Covers the spare like a pro. Both teams with spares working now in the 8th frame. 27-pin lead, excuse me, a 37-pin lead now for North Star.
Shea Miller making a pretty good shot, going just a little bit to the Brooklyn side, leaving just the 9. Her coach says that she really remains calm under pressure. Based on that shot, I'd say he's right. That was actually a very good shot. Just looked a little bit high.
It's going to take just a little bit of time here for the ladies to get accustomed to the changing lane conditions as we're out there. Good straight shot there by Ashley Mitchell for Northeast.
Well, the nice thing about leaving back-to-back 5-pin, Steve, is that it's very easy to make, as opposed to some of the combinations of spares we've seen here throughout the day-to-day in the girls' competition.
Shea Miller covers the 6-pin for the Gators, and right now time is running out on the Rockets. Down by 37. Really gonna have any chance here? We need this. They would need to cover the spare, and have something tragic happen to North Star in the 10th frame, and they would have to double. Potential 150 for Lincoln Northeast, or excuse me, 160 for Lincoln Northeast, while North Star is on pace for 187.
Brittany Hall basically just needs to keep it on the lane. She did.
That is enough.
That is going to be enough for North Star to take the first game in our best 3 of 5 competition.
Yeah, this is Katie Fritchie up for Northeast. You know, when you know you've already lost the first game, it is best of 5. You know, pins do not carry over in Baker Bowling. It's just like match play. So you, as John just said, it's best 3 of 5. So good chance to experiment possibly with a substitute, or maybe play a different part of the lane, or just loosen up. And we've seen teams already on today's show that have lost the first game come back to win. So you want to finish strong, even though you might have lost the first game.
You're right, Steve. We've seen coaches throughout the day today putting their subs in during the 10th frame. It is a good time to what we call go fishing. You know, if you need to make a ball change, or possibly make a position on the lane change your line, that's a great time to do it in the 10th frame. She did the right thing, getting that spare. So now if she wants to do something different, would be the ideal opportunity, because it's not going to hurt them. It will only help them if she can pick up a little piece of knowledge that will help them out in this next game.
185 for the Lady Gators of North Star, and they're going to take game number 1 in our best of 5 here in the Class A Girls State Bowling Championships. We'll go to game 2 immediately. Completion of game number 1, and 148 for Lincoln North Star. So game number 1 for the Lady Gators. All right, we're going to show everybody at home here our top 10 Lady Bowlers, girls bowlers for Class A. This was during qualifying held yesterday at the bowling centers here in Lincoln, and our medalist was Sierra Johnson from Lincoln Southeast with a 547. There's Katie Fritchie, one of our bowlers today for Northeast, in there in the top 5 with a 524. Rounding out our first team, which is our top 5 bowlers, McKenna Sheldon from Lincoln East with a 522. Second team All-State goes to Tiana Engen from Kearney with a 512. Abby Riedel from Southeast with a 511. Kylie Collins from North Platte. Also Amber Neiman from Lincoln Southeast, and Kaylin Kissinger from North Platte, our top 10 high school state bowlers, first team, second team from yesterday's qualifying here at Parkway Lanes, Hollywood Bowl, and of course here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln.
Becca Perry coming into the game for North Star, gets the ball a little bit inside. We think it's her first shot in the competition.
Change in the lineup there, try to spark things. Even though the Lady Gators won, you can use your substitutions on your roster, substitute in and out freely.
Becca's a first-year bowler. Had never picked up a bowling ball before. At the start of competition this season. Now she's bowling on TV.
John, you know, that's a testament. We talked with Brian English from the United States Bowling Congress earlier today about a number of high school students that participate in high school bowling on average in the United States. He says is around 70% of the students are not involved in another academic or athletic activity at high school, but I think here in Nebraska our numbers are quite a bit higher than that. I think at one point in time we were in the 80%-ish area with kids that bowl that aren't doing track and aren't doing drama club and aren't doing math club, football?
Absolutely, Steve. The numbers over the years have been in the 80s. At one point, 89%. We've been averaging about 80 to 85 here in Nebraska. It's just one of the great things about high school bowling is that, you don't have to be the tallest kid. You don't have to be the strongest kid. But anybody can do it as long as you can throw the ball consistently. You can score pretty well in this game.
Well, that and principals, administrators, and schools like to see student involvement and would like to see the majority of students that are more involved stay connected. It keeps a connection with their school, their fellow students. It's proven to help even grades of a lot of students. So that's what we shoot for here at the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Cross lane, great spare by Rachel Flynn, going cross lane at the 10 pin. We've seen it missed all sorts of different ways today, and that propels North Star back into the lead again. And this is Larissa Huffman now with a toughie. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Needs to get the ball in the pocket. That's how to do it, John.
That is the way to make that spare. Now we have just a one-pin match. And you mentioned something, Steve, that you're absolutely right. One of the great things about this sport is that the kids have to keep their academic standards. We have also the coaches check and verify their grades to make sure that they're eligible for extracurricular competition at the High School Federation. And I've had parents, I've had kids, I've had coaches all tell me, it's a great thing that we're doing. It helps keep my kid, interested in school and, keeps me focused on school. And I know that I need to study and do my work in order to be eligible to bowl.
Alyssa Knudsen there on a right-hand lane for the Rockets, leaving the 5 and the 9. Alyssa's a senior, averages 150. Says she likes to analyze each shot. Think about each shot before shooting at it. I just blindly get up there and bowl.
Well, many people do, Steve. It's all right. You're not alone.
All right, on the right-hand lane at the spare, Alyssa trying to cover the 5 and the 8, needs to do that to keep this match close, and does so. 2-pin lead for the Lady Gators over the Lady Rockets of Lincoln Northeast.
What we're seeing here, Steve, in these Class A matches, we're seeing a lot more spares converted. In the last match, I believe North Star only had one open, and I believe Northeast was fairly clean with the exception of a couple splits. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the important thing. We always said on the Pro Tour, strikes are for show, but spares are for the dough.
You bet.
Spares are what you win titles on. And again, we're seeing the 5-pin here.
Well, most of these ladies are very traditional, I would say a traditional concept of bowling, not a lot of hook, throwing the ball fairly direct and straight at the pocket. Gotta get the ball to drive through like that one.
Yep, and that's the difference in that delivery there. We had some rotation on the bowling ball. That was Brittany Hall, and that rotation is what causes the ball to drive through the pins, knocking over that 5-pin.
That's why she's the anchor, 193 average, and she showed it there. Good cover there by Ashley Mitchell for Northeast.
Yeah, Northeast keeping themselves in the match, covering up these spares. Even though North Star now has a double, they're really only behind by about 13.
This is Katie Fritchie, senior with a 181 average for Northeast. Anchor bowler. Looks like a little left off her hand, John, and through the nose.
And that's going to be some trouble. That 6-7 split, very difficult to make. She'll need to get the ball to the right side of the 6-pin, try to slide it over.
We're already down one game in a lot of situations on a well, not so much on a spare, but possibly on a strike. You'd maybe try to convert this, or do you take the 1 pin?
Based on the pin count, I would think at this point you would try to go for it. I would try to give it a shot and see if we could get it. And it looks like she's trying it.
Oh,
great try.
Good tip there by Katie. We're going to switch lanes now. After 5. 20-ish pin lead now for North Star again as we go into the second half of game number 2. North Star on the way to the state finals here had to go to 4 games as they defeated Grand Island yesterday in the semifinals, and Lincoln Northeast defeated Southeast 3-0 as they won their best of 5 in the semis. And as we have said before, we've seen both these teams here before. The cream rises to the top, and got a Good showing going on here now by both teams. Close match, picking up the majority of their spares. On the right-hand lane now for Northeast. Larissa Huffman. Excuse me, that's for the Gators. That is Becca Perry. Number 5 there.
Becca, our new bowler.
Yep.
A little bit high. Flush leaves the 4-7.
Looks very composed out there for year number 1 of bowling. Coach Bob Corum giving her just a little bit of advice on how to adjust. Left-hand lane now. Allie Nieswanger.
Allie needs to get the ball to the left of the head pin to cover the ball with all the pins, and she did.
Very good.
This 4-7 is going to be a little bit difficult for Becca. She needs to get the ball to go across lane. Try and take advantage of the double that North Star has. Good form.
Got a hook.
Just didn't hook.
Spare here for Lincoln Northeast. A mark would cut that lead in half down to about 10 pins. Strike will bring it within 1.
That's a pretty good shot.
Larissa Huffman
sliding by the head pin. Started to roll to halfway down the lane. Looked like it hit some of the oil and started to slide past the head pin.
Rachel Flynn now up for North Star. Rachel right down the middle of the lane in the track area, and just that slow speed, John, causes that ball to really flip at the back end right before it gets to the pocket. Looks like it's going to hold pocket, but the slower speed that she has just causes it to make that last second leap and who knows. Yep. 1, 2, and 8 spare on the left-hand lane for Larissa Huffman, and she knew right off her hand that that was not going to make it.
Yeah, it looked like she lost the ball at the bottom of her swing. Directionally went a little bit right, so it slid by the head pin.
Don't think it's going to be too much lost here as this spare a toughie. But if she can get 2 pins, so she gets 1. So they pick up a pin on North Star, or Northeast that is, 109 to 95 through 7. So a 14-pin lead. As you see on your screen there for North Star.
14 pins with 3 frames, still anybody's game.
Alyssa Knudsen. This is the head pin again. John, lanes typically, we've described it throughout the day today, a heavier concentration of oil in the middle of lane conditioner and a little bit less towards the outsides. And so if you're playing in the middle like most of the ladies are, that ball's probably going to go about where you point it to go.
Correct.
Crossover strike.
And she'll take it.
Absolutely, she will. Callie Hall with the crossover strike for North Star. So the lead increases now to
Alyssa
24.
Needs to get the ball to the left side of the head pin, cuts the right side, and slides by the 2 pin, still catches the 8, but not a spare.
We've got 2 very good bowlers coming up here for North Star in the 9th and 10th. This one, Shay Miller. Bowls it. Just a great shot, leaves the solid 10.
Yeah, great shot, just a bad break, leaving that ring 10 pin.
Well, they can really take a big step into clinching this game too with a spare. Any chance for Lincoln Northeast lies with Ashley Mitchell. Needs a strike. And is it going to carry? Yes.
Late falling 6 pin. It's a strike. Probably going to make that 10 pin just a little bit more challenging for Shay.
Just made it a lot tougher, like you said. John, cross lane with a very hard plastic ball. Good move. 129 in the 8th to 104 in the 8th for Lincoln North Star, or Northeast that is. So with that strike working though, they have cut the lead down to 15. Really needs a strike here right now for Northeast, and just a little fast leaves the 2 and the 4.
Yep, a little higher ball speed, caused the ball to slide by the head pin just slightly. Comes in a little bit light, leaves the 2-4. Should be going up here 2-0. Oh, and I spoke too soon.
That is exactly what you didn't want, but a spare will still lock up the game for North Star. That will give them 149, potential 144 for Lincoln Northeast. So yes, that does make it very interesting.
She needs 6 pins.
Yeah, she needs 6 pins to lock up the match here. So nothing hurt. You don't want to throw a gutter ball, especially on television in front of your peers.
Never, never, ever.
But they had enough of a lead where that was going to be good. And you knew that one wasn't going to go close to the gutter. And I think that's what she wanted to do on the first ball, John.
I'm guessing you're right, Steve. All right. Maybe she just wanted to get her money's worth.
Yeah.
Throw an extra shot in there.
That's what you call an area check in bowling. You see how far you can pull it or push it to see where that ball's going to hook or not hook. And usually that big gray board on the outside doesn't hook.
Yeah, there's something about it.
Yep. So North Star goes up 2-0 over Lincoln Northeast here in our Class A state finals for girls. 143 for Lincoln Northeast. And Lincoln North Star will be in the 150s.
Unless she does what she did last time.
Yeah, still good enough, though.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen again. That looks pretty good. Just a little outside.
Good enough.
145 for the Lady Gators. 155, excuse me, for the Lady Gators to 143. So we'll see if they can sweep as we head to game 3. There's your scores, 185, 155, both victories for Lincoln North Star. 148 to 143 for Northeast. You just think that it's over, John, but you know, they could come back and absolutely make things up. We want to, before we start match number 3, we want to make sure that all of you out there in Facebook land connect with us here at NET. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, and add a comment or catch up on the latest Nebraska sports information. Make sure to like us at NET Sports. Big Red Wrap Up. Join in the conversation. We want to know what you think about what we do here at NET on all of our sports coverage here in Nebraska. Facebook.com/NET Sports. You can even make a comment about the great John Lucido if you want. Proprietor here at Sun Valley and commissioner of high school bowling, and all of this had no chance of happening if it wasn't for this guy sitting next to me here in the booth. And you know, he's, you know, you have passion about high school bowling and youth bowling, and you know, great things can happen, and that's what we've done over 9 years, is try to transform this and transfer it to other people. And, you know, we have 100 teams plus bowling in high school bowling in Nebraska, and it continues to grow, and our middle school program continues to grow.
And our JV program continues to grow. We're seeing an increase in the JV teams this year, which is a great problem to have.
Soft 10 there for North Star right out of the gate. Deanna Allen, just a freshman. Nice straight arm swing, and, you know, Northeast, you figured they would want to come out and set a precedent and throw a quick strike and try to shift the momentum back in their favor, but that washout, the 1-2-10, going to be a toughie.
Difficult spare to make. Gets 2, which is okay. Get the pins that you can. Don't want to leave anything on the deck.
So, John, next week we have the Junior Varsity State Championships coming up.
Correct? Yes. We're the only sport, I believe, in the state that actually runs the JV state championships. But we have the number of teams that we want to give these kids the opportunity to play and do something special. So that will be out in Hastings.
I do believe so. Larissa Huffman catches a break there at the end and leaves the 3 and the 6. On the right-hand lane, Rachel Flynn now for North Star. Rachel pulls gently, leaving a makeable spare. And you know, one thing that North Star has done pretty much throughout the game is they have kind of left themselves in and around the pocket. They've kept the ball in play, John, and by keeping the ball in play, you know, they're not leaving giant splits or unmakeable spares. They're keeping the ball down the lane and just avoiding disaster.
Yeah, and that's important. Like we said, we've seen some really unusual formations of spares earlier today, and keeping the pins, you know, getting 8 or 9 when you can, and even simple stuff makes stuff much easier to do. Now, even that spare, the 3-6, can be challenging because of the chop. What we call the chop is where you have the ball hits dead center on the 3 pin, you think you get the spare and you don't. So bowlers always try to get the ball to cover both pins, and she just slid by the 3. Here we're going to see the same thing on the 6-10. She's going to try to get the ball to cover both pins. Catches it on the other side, though.
All right, another spare for North Star. They increase their lead over Northeast to 11 pins with that spare, and really Northeast needs something good to happen, need a strike, and that one off of Alyssa Knutsen's hand. She knew right when it left her hand that was going to be right of target, and leaves a big mess up there on 27. Up on the right-hand lane, Callie Hall. Kelly, her teammates mentioned that she's bubbly and brings light to the team, along with being a strong bowler.
Good shot. You can see that her personality based on her last frame where she went Brooklyn and how she came back off the approach. She was obviously very relieved and very excited and very happy. We can see that. Now the 1-2-3-5-7. Tough spare. Just to the right side of the head pin. Misses. Gets 3. Brings the team total up to 26. North Star can take their lead a little bit farther out to 22 or so if Miss Hall can make the spare.
High game of 256 for Callie. Just slips by just a little bit, but they still have an 11-pin lead over Lincoln Northeast. Ashley Mitchell up on the left-hand lane.
Ashley would like to get the Rockets started, and she does. All right.
Nice shot by Ashley.
Might be the little spark that we need to blast the Rockets off to get going in this match.
Yeah, boy, I like that. Good use of words there.
I try.
All right, Shea Miller back up for the Gators on 28. Looks awfully good to me. Oh, another solid 10.
Yeah, great shot there. Just didn't get the carry. Just like Callie didn't the frame before. Let's see if she can cover the spare, though.
Katie Fritchie up on 27, a chance to double and give the Rockets the lead. Leads the 9-pin.
That could have gone either way, Steve. Could have been the 4-9 there. Could have been a strike. Leaving just the 9's probably the safer, obviously, of the 2.
It's going to have to hang on and does not. You know, John, some people use different bowling balls for spares. Some flatten out the ball that they use. Some just don't change anything and just move over to the left or the right and throw it cross lane. And I've always been an advocate that switching bowling balls back and forth like that, you just don't have the same feel. I mean, you have a pro shop here, and of course, you know, you bowl competitively, and so do I. And I've just never been comfortable going back and forth, you know, unless you're making a ball change, you're going to stick with it. You know, you go cross lane at a spare, and that ball feels a little bit different. And, you know, you're not quite sure how you're going to get out of it. And I've just felt harder and straighter is the way to go. But
yeah, they say straight is great. And you're right, Steve. The fewer variables that you change in your approach, the more consistent, the easier it is to be more consistent. So something like the ball and the feel of the ball, ladies and gentlemen, is phenomenally important, because if the ball just doesn't feel right in your hand, it's very difficult to execute the shot. And if you use the same ball all the time, it is much more, it's easier basically to make that shot the way that you want to make it. So your point, Steve, is a very valid point. You just keep the ball the same and then just flatten it out or increase your speed and take that variable out of play.
Well, Shea Miller misses Brittany Hall misses the spare there on lane 28. So the Rockets with their first lead of the day, an 11-pin lead after 5 frames here in game number 3 of our Class A Lady Girls State Bowling Championships. Ladies will switch lanes again. Northeast has won their first ever Class A State Championship title back in 2013. Last year, lost in the quarterfinals. Won Class A in 03 and 06. First trip back since 2006. They won against Lincoln High School. Number 18 on lane 28 for the Lady Rockets.
Ooh, bad break. Oh, my. What a break that was.
Allie, just a freshman, and boy, she caught a break there, busting up the split. Just a freshman, and Allie, the 216 high game. And Deanna Allen for the Gators covering the 136.
Great spare there.
Pair of freshmen bowling leadoff against each other.
Yeah, the leadoff position actually is a position that you sometimes want to have a somewhat powerful player in, because you're usually building off of your anchor bowler who would have bowled 5th. So sometimes that leadoff person is the person that gets the spark and gets the team excited and gets them going. The break here that Allie had actually could be very beneficial for the Rockets if she can take advantage of it and cover this 10-pin. Tries to get the ball over.
Yep, she switches balls too, but hooks it past. So Northeast with the lead at one point. Now with the open, it's going to fall behind now, and will fall behind by about 11 pins.
Let's see what Rachel does here. So you can take advantage of the open or not.
Catches break, leaves the 6 and the 10.
And now we have a match here, Steve.
Yep, Larissa Huffman now up on the left-hand lane. Northeast tries to get the lead back with a strike here. It's going to be left the target. And 3.
Out of trouble there, gets the 9 pin out there, leaving just the 3. The 3-9's a very difficult spare. It's called the sleeper. With just the 3, though, it's pretty much in the center of the lane. Hopefully she can cover that up here. Cross lane for the 6-10 for Rachel. Looks good.
Oh, narrowly gets them both with the ball. But that's a spare for North Star. Spare here for Larissa Huffman and Northeast. Keeps their lead at 1 pin. Looks good to me. John, we had, I'm sure as in past years, we had great crowds at all 3 centers we used for the state championships here this weekend.
Yeah, we did. In fact, we were joking last night that we thought maybe some of the small towns that were here for Class C might have closed down based on the number of people that were in the building.
Just shows the passion for high school bowling when the whole community shuts down and closes down and follows them down to watch their boys and girls team. Big strike there by North Star. Kelly Hall. Lincoln Northeast needs a strike to keep the lead. Just a little light, leaving the 2 and the 5.
Challenging spare in that 2-5. She'll have to make sure she covers both pins with the ball.
Shea Miller can increase the lead for North Star with a strike, and just a little light, leaving the 2. Yeah, Northeast to really have a chance to move things along and extend this to a game 4. Need to have the spare by Alyssa Knutson. And she covered, oh my, just at the last minute, just slid by at the last minute.
Yeah, she thought she had that, Steve. You could tell by her reaction, and it was very, very close. Looked like it was going to be good.
A spare here by Shea Miller will give North Star 12-pin lead. Boy, the tables turned really quick there. So now the pressure goes down to Ashley Miller. It's almost to the point where you just about need a strike to have any hope of extending the match.
That's got to get in there. And it did, Steve. Now all of a sudden, this 10 frame is going to be really interesting.
Hit him thin and watch him spin. And Ashley Miller did that, took the hip pin off the wall with the wall shot, and gets a very important strike for Northeast, which will give them about an 8-pin lead going into the 10th frame. And Northeast is going to go ahead and finish first. Katie Fritchie. And Katie has been around the pocket. She's kept the ball in play. She's the anchor bowler for a reason. And boy, a double here will give them a really good chance of going into game 4. It's going to be left, John.
Could be.
Make a little spare. Potential 141 for Lincoln Northeast.
And not to bring up the past, Steve, but do you think she's thinking about her 10th frame last game where her first ball went into the channel?
Well, I have a feeling that ball wasn't going to be close to the gutter at all. And there's a strike.
And a very big strike.
So, must-spare situation here for Northeast. Katie Fritchie, in order to have a chance at game number 4, needs to pick this spare up. Otherwise, the Lady Gators will have won their state championship. And that's needed. So,
Steve, I hate to tell you this, but I think it's over.
You know what, John? You are correct. That was a strike needed for Lincoln Northeast. So the Lady Gators have already wrapped it up. 133 in the 9th.
That's a pretty good shot.
Very good shot. Oh, leaves the stone 9, but it's not going to matter, as the Lincoln North Star is going to be in the 150s. The best Lincoln Northeast can shoot is 141. So congratulations to Bob and Vicki Corum, the coaches, again with another state championship. And good effort there in the 10th frame by Katie Fritchie, but it's not going to be enough. 139 for Lincoln Northeast.
Steve, we're seeing the girl that had never bowled before the start of this season. Do you think that she would have thought that she'd be throwing the last ball in the state championships to win the state championship?
I would say probably a year or two ago she wouldn't have dreamt of anything like that, but she's going to be a state champion for her school, and that is it, folks. 153 to 139. The Lady Gators sweep Lincoln Northeast. 3 games to none. And it was all Lady Gators all throughout the match. There's your final score. 3 games to none. North Star, our state champions. We'll be out with our awards and presentations when we come back here on NET.
Tom Kelly's Pro Shop is your home for bowling supplies. Established in 1980, the shop offers 45 different shoe styles, including the complete line of Brunswick, thousands of balls, and over 200 different styles of bags. A father and son team with experience in drilling since 1958 use customized hand measuring and the latest equipment to provide you with the right fit. You can walk in, find everything you need, and go bowling the same day. Tom Kelly's Pro Shop, located in Omaha and Norfolk.
No matter how you look at it, animal agriculture helps Nebraska's economy. The livestock industry provides increased tax revenues for schools and community services. Livestock enterprises also create jobs while contributing to existing businesses such as local banks and grocery stores. A thriving livestock industry helps maintain our current way of life, but also provides opportunities for the next generation of farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff helps to raise awareness of the importance of animal agriculture to Nebraska.
Funding for the NHSBF state championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.
For me, asking why is just getting started.
It's more than an activity. It's me doing what I love.
I'm not a stereotype. When I rewrite the rules, things get better.
I know that all these experiences matter.
These moments will help me become something more.
Little things always lead to something bigger.
Do it.
Track it.
Earn it.
What you're doing now will help you get scholarships later. Find resources from Education Quest at trackyoursuccess.org.
Watch NET Sports anytime, anywhere. Download the free NET Nebraska app today. Watch live streaming of the NSAA High School Championships, college player profiles, full-length episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up, and so much more. The new NET Nebraska app makes it easier than ever to follow the NET sports you want, when and where you want it. Get the app at netnebraska.org/apps.
Attention Roadshow fans, the one and only Antiques Roadshow is coming to Omaha. To enter and see complete rules for Roadshow event tickets and the Roadshow Furniture Roundup, visit pbs.org/antiques or call 888-762-3749. Ticket applications and furniture submissions must be received by April 6, 2015. Tickets awarded by random drawing. Good luck.
All right, welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln. Our Class A Girls State Championship, a 3-game sweep. Lincoln North Star defeating Lincoln Northeast 3 games to none. Another state championship for Coach Bob and Vicki Korm, and we're going to send it down to John Lucido on the lanes with our champions. John, take it away, my friend.
Thank you very much, Steve. I'm here with Coach Bob Korm and Brittany Hall, the senior from North Star, another state championship for you, young lady. I have to ask the question, that 10th frame in that second game, the ball went someplace I'm guessing you didn't want it to go. Were you thinking about that all in the third game when you were getting up in that 10th frame, just basically needed a mark to win?
No, I was more like, I need to keep my ball on my thumb and just take it nice and easy and throw it.
Well, how does it feel as a senior to win this state championship?
Amazing.
I bet it does. You should be very, very proud of that. Coach Corum, it's been a decade you've been doing this job, and I remember a little conversation we had that you thought you might go all the way with this team and have some decisions to make. What do you think? Are you going to stick around, do this? What do you want to do here for the future? You're going to go out on a high note, or what's it going to be?
I was really hoping you weren't going to ask me that question. I made a promise to a couple girls on the team that I would stay as long as they were on the team, so I'll be back.
All right, well, he's going to be back, another state championship, and Bob, it wouldn't surprise me if you're back here again next season. That's it, the champs. It's Lincoln North Star. Back to you, Steve.
All righty, John, thanks a lot. And boy, what a weekend here at Sun Valley Lanes and the Girls State High School Bowling Championships. Just had phenomenal crowds, and once again, we'd like to congratulate Lincoln North Star for their state championship as they defeat Lincoln Northeast in 3 games here at Sun Valley Lanes. When we come back, we'll recap today's action here in the Girls State High School Bowling Championships. And but before that, we will send it down to our PA announcer, Dwayne DeMode, for
ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for our 2 finalists. And now for the awards presentation. Your Class A girls runner-up, the Lincoln Northeast Rockets. Coaches Kelly O'Hara and Alyssa Smith. Allie Neiswanger. Larissa Huffman. Alyssa Knutson. Ashley Mitchell. Katie Ritchie. Peaches Parker. Avery Short. Ladies, here's your runner-up trophy. Congratulations to your girls Class A runner-up. Now, here's your 2014-15 Class A Girls State Champions, the Lincoln North Star Gators. Coaches Bob and Vicki Corum. Deanna Allen. Rachel Flynn. Callie Hall. Shay Miller. Brittany Hall. Becca Perry. Ladies, here's your championship trophy. Congratulations to your 2014-15 Girls State Class A champions, the Lincoln North Star Gators.
All right, there they are, your state champions for Girls Class A, Lincoln North Star, the Lady Gators, winning in 3 games over Lincoln Northeast, and that wraps up a full day of girls high school bowling action here at Sun Valley Lanes as we take a quick look at the results from this afternoon, or this morning and this afternoon's results. We started out bright and early this morning, John, with the Humphrey Bulldogs winning in Class D, the first state championship for Class C Ogallala, all the way from western Nebraska.
Yeah, the Indians made a great stride today, winning their first title. Had a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. Had a big crowd follow them all the way from Ogallala. Of course, then two perennial powerhouses close out the afternoon with Pius the 10th for Class B and Lincoln North Star for Class A. We want to remind everybody, don't forget, next week, boys action next Sunday here on NET as the Boys State Championships for the High School Bowling Federation. March 1st, starting at 8 a.m. here on NET1. We would love to have you tune into that. John, it was a pleasure working with you today.
Always a pleasure with you, Steve.
I want to thank John and, of course, our good friend Larry Putney, who were our play-by-play. And everybody here at Sun Valley Lanes and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, we appreciate your support. Thanks for watching us here on NET.
Programming on NET television is made possible in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank knows the importance of giving back. That's why we're committed to supporting charitable, educational, and service organizations in communities across Nebraska and the nation. In 2014, U.S. Bank employees have already provided more than 3,000 hours of community service in Nebraska, and we are dedicated to continuing that support. U.S. Bank, serving you in Nebraska. Member FDIC.
High school's almost over. What's next? I mean, what are my choices? I want to find something I love, so I can make a life for myself. And then I can give back. So, how do I get there?
Take the next step with Education Quest College Planning Services by visiting educationquest.org.
If you stay long enough, if you put yourself in the right place, your head, heart, and soul align, everything slows down. And even though you're on vacation, for the first time and you can't remember when, you feel at home. Wouldn't that be nice?
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Funding for the NHSBF State Championships was provided by the Lincoln Bowling Association through grants from the Alan and Marcia Bear Foundation and the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation. Reminding you that more than 1,000 high school students compete statewide in varsity bowling.